All right, hello, all of you heavy metal psychophants and crazy kids, and welcome to Hangar 18, volume motherfucking 37. Been a long time
I know,
coming.
gosh.
We've been practicing 36 times just for this fucking episode, motherfuckers.
Might get it right one of these days.
Yeah, maybe one day we might actually make a decent show that'll get like more than 3 viewers, right? So anyway, it's me, your giant blue stabby face fucking alien killy face robot from another fucking planet, skirt chasing motherfucker, Thundercracker. And as always, my southern fried baritone panty dropper symbiotic brother Dreadwind.
You can imagine how surprised he was when he went to Scotland.
What?
Skirt chasing.
Oh yeah. Now I'm smelling what you're cooking. All right. So anyway, did it just go live?
It was live when you put it on my end.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe something's fucked up. Anyway, fucking YouTube's being a cock today, so I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, don't throw away your notes this time.
Yeah, right. We have to do the whole episode over again. All right. So anyway, this week we let Dreadwind. We let him. He was over there chewing on crayons, and he looked all despondent. So I said, Dreadwind, you can choose the songs this week. Mm-hmm. He's perked right up. His nipples shot right through his shirt, and he was like, "I'm going to do it for justice."
Crayola came out with a new color, so I had to try out the new flavors.
Right. So what we're going to do is we always do. We're going to start out with heavy metal news, and I do have 2 heavy metal news stories. I just want Dreadwind to go first because I want to see if he picked the same ones I did, because I picked like the big ones.
Okay. Yeah, I have a couple also, but we complained about a slow week last week, and then
and this week like a million things are going on, right?
All right, so I'm pretty sure I know at least one of the ones you picked, so I'm just gonna say released today is the new Iced Earth album, Incorruptible. You can check that out on iTunes, and probably not at stores, because I seriously doubt any store is going to be carrying that one on CD. But check eBay, import CDs if you want the actual physical CD like I like. I haven't heard too much off. I've heard like bits and pieces of 2 or 3 songs.
Hey, wait, speaking of physical CDs, who was just recently saying that people that like physical CDs are cocksuckers?
I don't know, but whoever they are, they need their face shoved in the mud.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. But somebody like definitely was saying it was some heavy metal icon too. It was like somebody that we like too. It was like Glenn Danzig or somebody who's like, "Oh, just move into the fucking next generation, you pieces of shit."
I missed that one. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, I saw it somewhere. I forget who it was. It's definitely somebody that we like. I remember that. And like he said, basically, you're just old stodgy fucking grandparents for this bullshit about physical CDs.
That's bull.
That's what I said. But go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. And my other bit of news is in the who really gives a shit category. Five Finger Death Punch's singer Ivan Moody,
aptly named Ivan Moody,
apparently has been really moody lately and has just gone crazy off the bat rails.
Off the bat rails?
Bat rails, yeah.
Does that come out of the bat utility belt?
It's probably so, off the crazy train.
Going off the rails. Don't worry, I have bat rails.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's announced that he's not in the band anymore, and then the band's like, huh, what, and whatever. So yeah, he's apparently temporarily out of the band for sure now, because they've announced that they're going to continue touring without him to fulfill their touring obligations while he tries to get himself sober, I guess. So
damn,
he's apparently got some major issues going on.
All right, is that all you got?
I do have another one, but I think you're going to cover it, so I'll let you go.
Probably so. All right, so I have 2 big major news items. Fuck. Let me start that one more time. I got 2 big major news items. Factoids. That's what the word I was going
Factoids.
For. Yeah, factoids. All right. First off, known cocksucker Gene Simmons.
Yes.
Who, I'm not a fan of Kiss, and I'm sorry if we're a fan of Kiss, but I've never liked Kiss. My wife loves Kiss. I just don't like them. I've never have. I mean, they're like campy hard rock, I guess we would call it. And it's, in my opinion, there's much better hard rock to choose from, like AC/DC, for instance. But at any rate, Gene Simmons has tried to copyright the heavy metal horns. And first off,
he's
trying to copyright.
He's calling it the rock on devil horns.
Yeah, the rock on devil horns. And first off, he's got his thumb out, which that's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. And secondly, Ronnie James Dio and his grandmother, number 2. And number 3, and how the fuck is he going to protect that, number 1? And everybody's saying, well, he's just doing it as like a publicity stunt and he's just trolling. And if he is, then he's a cock. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's like the stupidest thing ever, you know? I mean, fuck that guy. I mean, fuck the whole thing, that idea in particular, right? And my second thing that's actually equally kind of stupid is Lars Ulrich of Metallica fame, the drummer. He has been awarded with the Knight's Cross of the Order of Dannebrog by Margrethe II, Queen of Denmark. And when I first read that Lars Ulrich was going to be knighted, I thought, holy shit, he's going to join the Victoria Cross Order, which, that's the one from England that actually like matters.
Right.
Because like that's the one with like Paul McCartney and Elton John in it and stuff like that. But like no, he's it's from Denmark. But he's knighted, so now I guess you can call him Sir Douchebag, I guess.
Lord and Lady Douchebag.
Yeah, right on. So there's that. So yeah, Gene Simmons and Lars Ulrich in the news. So yeah. All right. So
nice.
Moving on to our man, there's like for whatever reason, like blabbermouth.net, like it always like jacks my internet up and makes like all the other panels go really slow because like it's always trying to load like 17,000 ads.
Oh yeah.
And I had that open when I was looking at the because I wanted to get the name of that whatever you call it, the Knight's Cross or the fuck, right? So anyway,
one no one cares about.
Right. Yeah, the one from Denmark. I mean, what has Denmark ever done really? Like, aren't they the ones that's like the fucking wooden shoes and shit and windmills?
No, that's Holland.
But I thought Holland and Denmark was the same thing.
Oh, maybe.
Or maybe Holland and the Netherlands.
I was thinking Netherlands. Yeah.
Yeah. Who the fuck knows? All those little countries over there, they got all jangled up. Anyway, let's go on to fucking something bigger and brighter. On to our reviews. And like I said, this week, Dreadwind picked these, so if they suck, it's Dreadwind's fault.
These are awesome, man.
First up, I don't know about that one, but first up, we have Ozzy Osbourne. And Ozzy Osbourne as a solo artist, United Kingdom, 1980. And this song, Perry Mason, was off of the album Osmosis, 1995. And I actually did learn something while doing my little review of this. I'll just go ahead and do my review here.
Okay.
It has great synthesizer.
Why don't you go ahead and do your review?
I'll do that. I'm going to go ahead and do my review right now.
Yeah, you do that.
And then I'll clue you in as to what I learned. Okay. It has great synthesized strings at the beginning of the song. And when this song came out, I was friends with this guy named David Weaver. And he always told me about like when that part that comes up and goes do-do-do-do-do-do-do. He always says it reminds him of playing a video game. I can never hear that song without picturing him there with a fucking PS2 controller playing a video game.
Nice.
So, all right. But anyway, lots of artificial harmonics in the song, which is pretty standard for Zakk Wylde, especially at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what I learned. The second verse is a pretty obvious reference to cocaine that I never got before, but this is the verse. Riding painted horses, oh, the kids, they love it so. You can see it on their faces, how they love the wind to blow. That is pretty much a cocaine reference. Yeah. And the whole time I thought the entire song was just about Perry Mason.
Yeah, me too. Although I don't know, that one line kind of confuses me because if they're doing cocaine, they definitely don't want the wind blowing.
Right, but I think blow is the word for cocaine. He's just trying to be.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but the wind blowing thing part is like because don't sneeze. Yeah,
don't get it blown off your mirror, right? All right, so Ozzy's voice is strong on the song, but the drumming on the song seems kind of like discordant and sloppy, in my opinion. I don't know if they just like put the drums in as an afterthought, which is my guess. Because when you got Ozzy on vocals and Zakk Wylde on guitar, I mean, okay. Also, we need some bass and drum in there somewhere. Well, fuck it. But I do like the part where they do this little bass ditty and then they go into the solo, which is kind of like, it's pretty tame as far as Zakk Wylde solo goes. The outro is a little bit repetitive. in my opinion. Just a little tidbit about this album. The album reached number 22 on the UK albums chart and number 4 on the US Billboard 200. By the end of 1995, Osmosis was certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America, indicating US sales over 1 million units. And in 1999, it was certified double platinum, which means 2 million units. Anyway, I gave this song a 7.5, and I had my wife rate this song. She rates it a 10.
Wow.
Dreadwind, go ahead.
Man, I thought you'd like this one more than that.
7.5, that's from me.
Ouch. All right, well, that's wrong. This is, I think this is one of the more underrated albums and definitely one of the more underrated songs from Ozzy.
See, I think if you'd have picked Thunder Underground, I would have given it a better review.
I like that one too. That was another good one. Another one of my favorites off this album. This is a really good album. Usually when you talk about Ozzy's solo career, they talk about the early ones, Blizzard of Oz and
Mark
the Moon,
Diary of Madman,
and even No More Tears.
Yeah, No More Tears. Yeah, fucking A.
Yeah, so this one doesn't get a lot of love, but I think it's a really good album, just like I said, underrated. And this is definitely one of my opinion, one of the better songs off this album. But I love the intro. It's got a great intro and build up. Heavy riff throughout the whole song. Ozzy singing's on point. I thought the solo it's a little tame for him, but it's still pretty good. And the guitar work that Zach does on it, he makes the guitar both sing and squeal at the same time, because you know you got the kind of the singing harmony part going, and then he hits the squeals in there, and that's his thing, is doing the squeals. But for this song, it really works in my opinion. It's because he hits it at just the right points, and it just adds to it. I love the song. Give it a 9.5.
A 9.5. Damn.
Yeah.
I will tell you this though. There's a song on that album called "Old LA Tonight," and that song got me laid. So moving on to the next one. Yeah. So that album always has a special place in my heart for that one. I was chasing after that one for a while too, so it worked out good for me.
There you go.
All right, the next song is by a band called Texas Hippie Coalition, which were 3 words you never expect to see together.
Right.
And they were formed in Texas in 2004, Denison, Texas.
What's funny is the just the initials, which they go by sometimes, is THC.
THC, right?
Yeah.
They were formed in Denison, Texas, 2004, which who the fuck knows where that is? I mean, Texas is about the size of Earth, so it could be anywhere.
It's not far from Dallas.
And the song is called "Pissed Off and Mad About It," from their album Pride of Texas 2008. And Clenched Fist, which is the second song on this album, is dedicated to Dimebag Darrell Abbott, who was a significant influence on this band. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah,
it's pretty obvious if you watch the video.
I've never heard it. Somebody commented, and I love this, instead of pissed off and mad about it, he commented more like hungry and famished about it. Because the lead singer is a Tubble-Lard. He is a ham beast. Yeah. All right. Definitely not a fan of the clean vocals that this singer does. Not at all. His harsh vocals are okay, but his clean vocals, I'm not a fan. He sounds like he's trying to be like the dude from Living Color. I don't know what the guy's name is, but he does not accomplish it at all.
Do not get that at all, but okay.
Yeah, he just is not very good at clean vocals.
Right.
There seems to be only really 3 riff structures in the entire song. Mm-hmm. The solo is awful. And when he does that low to high, he goes, I was like, what the fuck is that shit? Anyway, Texas Hippie Coalition, pissed off and mad about it. I am not a fan. I gave it a 6.0. And my wife gave it a 4.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dreadwind, you're up. Texas Hippie Coalition.
Man, yeah. It's pretty much Southern. Ouch. Pretty much Southern metal. Yeah, if you watch the video, you can tell they're obviously big fans of Dimebag. They're both playing the Washburn Dean guitars, yeah. Like he plays and everything. It's got a real heavy guitar intro, and they do the little squeals in there also. It's definitely nothing fancy as far as strong song structure goes, but you know it does have a bit of a groove to it. I think The solo, I'm kind of with you. It's the first half is very blech, but then the second half where he actually starts playing a solo is a little bit better. Live, the singer. This is one dude you're talking about. The singer. I definitely wouldn't want to get him pissed off. Just saying, he's a big dude. Live, sometimes I've seen clips of him live where he's got like this mic stand, and it looks like a giant double barrel shotgun.
Nice.
Cool.
And then the visuals on the band I like, but this song now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about with the where he does the weird thing with the voice, and the first time I heard it too, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
So, definitely that part definitely got some getting used to. The more I listened to the song, the more I got used to that part. But the first time you hear it, you're like, "What the hell is he doing?" But overall, I like it. It's a basic, simple jam. I gave it a solid 8.0.
Holy shit! You beat me by 2 again.
Yeah. I know.
All right, moving on. You're not going to break down over
there. It was a downer this week, huh?
I know. You're not going to break down on me over there. Oh, fucker, don't like my song.
No, I'm cool.
I'm just saying, because I'm like, hey, look at this song by Chris Barnes. You're like,
you're completely entitled to your wrong opinion this week.
I love it. All right, moving on to Judas Priest one-on-one, and this is from.
I bet you love this one.
Birmingham, England, 1969. Judas Priest. And this is from their album Demolition from 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Really bizarre and distorted keyboards at the beginning. I don't get that part.
Yeah.
But then the first set of riffs is pretty heavy. And I love the drop they do as a transition to the second set of riffs. Mm-hmm. And then my immediate thought was, where in the fuck is Rob Halford?
Mm-hmm.
Judas Priest, I listened to Judas Priest specifically to hear Rob Halford.
Yeah.
You don't have Rob Halford and you have Tim the Ripper Owens.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of takes away from Judas Priest, right?
Yeah.
This album was produced by guitarist Glenn Tipton,
mm-hmm.
who also took over as primary songwriter on the album. And you can tell definitely this is a guitar player's song.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing else is featured in the song. The vocals are kind of in the background, the drums are in the background, the bass you can't really hear.
Yep.
There's a strange high-pitched squeaking over Tim Owens' voice in certain spots, which I did not like. The lyrics sound like something that an 8th grader would scrawl on his Trapper Keeper.
I'm glad you said that.
The vocal breakdown was really stupid, but the solo they did afterwards was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The breakdown with the effect on the guitar is pretty good also, except for the singing. And finally, the song is about 3 minutes too long.
Mm-hmm.
I give the song a 6.0. My wife gives it an 8.
Yeah, this of course comes from the time when Rob Halford was not in the band. Right. Therefore, they had to continue on and had a new singer, and they got Ripper Owens. This is actually the second album with Tim Owens.
I think he said this was his favorite one of the ones he did.
It might be. I know this one gets a lot of heat from the fans because they changed their sound quite a bit on this one.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't sound like power metal.
Yeah, it's got a much heavier sound to it.
Right.
I think they tuned their guitars down a little bit for it.
Yeah, it's leans a little bit more towards thrash, I would say.
Yeah. And there's some really, really awesome riffs and stuff throughout the entire album. They have some really cool riffs, and this is one of the songs. This is why I picked it, because it's got
shockingly riffs in an album written by a guitar player.
I know, right? Yeah. But this one in particular has some, just when the guitars kick in. Like I said, the intro is really weird, but then when the guitars kick in, you're like, yeah, this has got something, This whole album though suffered from bad writing, and in particularly the lyrics. The lyrics, like you said, that at times they sound like something a 3rd grader would write on his Trapper Keeper. That's very.
I said 8th grader. Okay.
Okay, 8th grader, 3rd grader, whatever. There's definitely, I know what you're talking about though. There's a lot of extra noises in the background that's definitely not needed, and you mentioned that a little while ago too. It's definitely nothing off of this album is something that you would pick to play for someone that's not familiar with Judas Priest.
No.
You know, this is not the album you would say, "Oh, check this band out." No,
I'd go with Painkiller for something like that, right?
Yeah, you know. But I mean, I don't know. I can't fault a lot of people. You know, blame Tim Ripper Owens for the bad albums, but I can't really fault him. He's, you know, he had absolutely zero say in the songwriting process. Zero. So the only thing he did was show up and sing. And I've seen him live, not with Priest, but I've seen him live when he was in Iced Earth. And
I was gonna say, doesn't he do something with Gay Off Tape too?
He did something recently, and he said he's not going to be doing that again.
Yeah, that was almost my heavy metal news.
Yeah, me too. I remember seeing it. Yeah, but I didn't look up to see exactly what it was. But
me neither. I just saw his weird face.
Yeah, all he said was, "We'll just say I will not be working with them again, and we'll leave it at that." So,
doesn't Gay Off Tape work for like Dream Theater?
No,
the other one. It's exactly the same.
Queensryche.
Yeah, dude, right there. 6 and 1, half dozen.
He used to.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's been a long time now, and apparently he's a real pill to work with. I've seen a lot of comments about that, about Jeff Tate being just a general douchebag altogether.
I think you mean Gay Off Tape.
Gay Off, okay. But anyway, back to this song. Like I said, I don't blame him for it because, you know, he really had no input other than showing up and singing. And the dude can sing. It's just, you know, he's not Rob Halford.
By a long shot.
Which, again, is not his fault. But, you know, he does what he can do. And the rest of the band, you know, the album was just poorly written. And it's also, the song is a bit too long. Like you said, it's showing off the guitar riffs here and there. And then it's like, okay, cut this and trim it down a little bit, you know?
Right on.
Still, I ended up giving it a 7.5 on this one. So.
I think you rated everything higher than me.
I'm sure I did.
All right. Maybe some redemption here. Black Label Society, Bored to Tears. Black Label Society formed in Los Angeles, California in 1988. This song was off their debut album, Sonic Brew, from, did I just say 1988? 1998 is what it is. This is off their debut album, Sonic Brew, 1998. The beginning of the song sounds like something is boiling over. And then that fucking riff comes in, and it just fucking stomps all over your face.
Yeah.
And one other thing about this, Zach Wild is a pretty accomplished vocalist, right?
Yeah, I know.
The guitar breakdown is fucking brilliant, shockingly. And sounds like you're being chased around by someone with a hammer intent on killing you. That's what I wrote for that. For some reason, the video we picked has about 2 minutes of dead space at the end of it. And by we, I mean me. I'm the one who did that, so that's my fuck up. There is really no magnificent solo like you would expect from an astounding guitar player's solo album like Zach Wild. Here's the thing. I guess Johnny Walker issued a cease and desist order to Zach Wild about the album cover, which looks like a bottle of Johnny Walker, and they changed it to the one with like the skull on it, you know, the Sonic Brew one.
I was wondering what happened with that.
Yep, that's what it was. Johnny Walker told him not to do it. Here's a tidbit that I did not know, which this is even more impressive. Zach plays every instrument on the entire album except the drums. He plays the bass, the piano, sings, and obviously the guitar and the rhythm guitar. Plays them all on the entire album except for the drums. Except for the special version that has the No More Tears on it, in which Mike Inez of Alice in Chains plays bass.
Yeah, he does that on most of the Black Label albums. It's just him and a drummer,
right,
that actually records it. And then, of course, he has a touring band that comes
in.
Yeah,
you have to be really quick.
Yeah.
But anyway, Black Label Society, Bored to Tears, I give an 8.0. And my wife said, I've never fucking heard that song. So that's that.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Jeez.
Failing as a husband, I know. 8.0.
You are.
Any question mark?
Question mark.
Wait, your turn.
We're just gonna assume that's a 9. Okay.
It looks like a 9, so close enough.
Yeah, it's got. I think it's the intro is bass guitar that he's just kind of banging on or something to make that noise.
Yeah.
And he got random guitar noises on the intro, and then the riff comes in, and I wrote down, it kicks the freaking door in and just doesn't let up.
We can curse here.
Yeah, I know. And then the 2.5 minute mark, the breakdown there is just heavy as fuck. That's really all I have written down, because there's not a lot of change up in the song. It just blasts all the way through, and then there's that one change up in the middle bit that's really awesome. I know his drummer is Craig Nunemacher, was his drummer for a long time, and he's the guy that would come in and do the drums. And I'm trying to remember what band he used to be in. It escapes me, but he's from New Orleans. That's all I remember. I can't remember what band he was in.
If he's from New Orleans, he's probably in about 50 bands.
Probably so. But the song is awesome. This is off their first album.
Yep, Sonic Brew.
And I remember the first time I heard him doing the solo stuff was actually when he did the Pride and Glory thing, which was a lot more Southern rock. And then he did the Book of Shadows, which was like all acoustic. And then this came out. I was like, whoa. Yeah. So I give this an 8.5.
Oh, all right. So we're continuing on.
Continuing.
All right. Okay. The next one. Let me start that one more time. The next one that Dreadwind chose was Machine Head Imperium. Mm-hmm. The band formed in Oakland, California in 1901. They're a pretty old band. 1991. This song is from the album Through the Ashes of Empires, released in 2003. The song was called Imperium. Very somber, very somber beginning. And I can tell you from experience, because I've seen Machine Head about, I don't know, a dozen times. And every time that sledgehammer guitar comes in, the crowd fucking goes ape shit with the hey.
I can see it in my head. Yeah,
it's fucking awesome. Then when he does that, when Hear Me Now, when he says that, it's the prelude to the mosh pit apocalypse. It just is. They go fucking insane. The tempo changes are fucking flawless. The chorus of this song, Hear Me Now, Words I Vow, that part, is probably in my top 10 of all heavy metal choruses. So it's right up there. Flynn goes from one vocal style to the next with flawless precision. The song almost forces you to headbang with its relentless drive. I mean, you can't just sit still with the song. The heavy breakdown at about 4 minutes is awesome and amazing. I put awesome and amazing. And I can tell you again, is like, that's for the part where he says, open his pit up, usually when he's doing it live, and it fucking goes berserk. And then they pick the tempo up again at the end with a badass and beautiful set of riffs. And the lyrics to the song are goddamn brilliant. The song is nearly 7 minutes long, but you are never bored and never waiting for it to end. This little tidbit of knowledge, because guitarist Aru Luster had left the band due to creative differences, the album was written by the remaining 3 band members, and then temporary guitarist Phil Demo, which turned out to be permanent, only joining for the recording sessions. When asked about the writing process for the album, vocalist and guitarist Robert Flynn, I've never seen him called Robert Flynn said, when Aru quit Machine Head to go join Nickelback wannabes Juggernaut,
wow,
we made a decision to start writing this a 3-piece. We didn't want to go through the whole tryout process to see if the new guy would fit. Anyway, Machine Head Imperium, a goddamn brilliant song, fucking amazing album. I give it a 10, and my wife also gives it a 10.
Wow, so she actually heard this one.
Yeah, definitely. She's probably heard that in the car at like ear-piercing volume a million times.
I bet. Yeah, this is it's the intro on this one's real quiet, almost an eerie guitar intro, and he hits the harmonics here in a couple spots, and then when you hear it though, something cool is coming, right? And it just builds, and then the guitars kick in, it's da-da,
Yep.
And the build up continues, and it just builds and builds and builds until all hell breaks loose.
Yep.
And then hear me now, and it just blasts.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Basically, it's so funny. I was up late doing this, so excuse me, but I wrote, it rips your face off and spits in your sinuses.
Nice.
it's it's just heavy and it's relentless. There's change ups throughout. Like you said, it's a long song, but it doesn't feel like it's that long. Um, the breakdown groove is just pure gold towards the end. There's another heavy breakdown that's awesome. There's another change up at 450 that kicks ass. I wrote amazing and I underlined it, so I must have meant that twice. It's one of the best intros in metal.
Agreed.
And very seldom will usually I'll listen to a song and I'll, about 3/4 of the way in, I'll get an idea of what I'm going to rate it, right?
Right.
Unless it's something I've heard before. Then every now and then, if it's something I've heard before and I'm very, very familiar with it, sometimes I'll rate it before I even listen to the song.
Right. Yeah.
So like this one, I wrote down 9.0 before I even played the song, and by the end of the song, I had bumped it up to 9.5. So
all right.
there you go.
9.5. All right, we're almost somebody.
Almost.
All right, moving on to Ministry. Formed, I think, is our very first Chicago band. Chicago, Illinois, not the shitty ass brass band Chicago, but Chicago, Illinois.
What was that? What was that? Was it that Adam Sandler movie where Chicago was the music of the devil?
Don't know.
Yeah, I think it was the one where he was the son of the devil.
Oh, Little Nicky.
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
They were saying something like you know, about Ozzy being, you know, devil music or something. It's like, oh no, Ozzy's just Ozzy, you know. It's like, if you really want to hear something, check this out. And he gets like a Chicago CD and he plays it backwards. It's like, worship the devil, blah blah blah.
Nice.
It's funny.
I've heard that movie did not do so well.
No, it's pretty stupid, but it's got like 2 or 3 moments that are ha.
All right. Ministry, formed in Chicago, Illinois in 1981. The song was called Just One Fix, and the album is Psalm 69, The Way to Succeed and the Way to Suck Eggs, 1992. That riff that is in this song is pretty iconic as far as metal songs go. I mean, it's just, okay. There's no design. As soon as you hear that, you know Ministry, right? Mm-hmm. But it lasts a little bit too long before they go into vocals, in my opinion. The video for the song is amazing, and it always amazes me. Like the song is like basically in the video, they're basically saying, you know, we need to like revolt and get rid of the people in charge of us. But then, like, when you look at the politics of the band itself, they like want more government control. So I don't get that, and that's pretty standard. Like, we're rebels, except we want the government to control us more, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, video game composer, this is a little tidbit of knowledge. Video game composer Frank Kopacki cites Psalm 69 album as the primary influence in creating the iconic industrial soundtrack in 1995's Command and Conquer video game. I don't know if you've ever heard that video game song, but as soon as you hear it, you immediately know Command and Conquer, just like this opening riff. That's about all I got for Ministry, Just One Fix. I give it a 7.5. My wife gives it a 9.
Okay. Yeah, I think Ministry gets the award for the most dramatic change in musical style of any band.
Yeah.
Because and Ministry fans are like, we don't talk about this. But early Ministry, it was actually very 80s synth pop. And like his first album, just go look up the song Every Day is Halloween.
Right.
And,
kind of like a brighter version of 9 Inch Nails almost.
Kind of, yeah. But the funny thing is, if you listen to it, like, the music is very 80s synth pop, but if you actually listen to the lyrics themselves are still very dark. So you can see where Al is still Al even back then, you know.
Al Jorgensen.
Yeah, but yeah, then they just totally went completely different direction. And I always find it amusing to watch him sing, whether live or on a video, because he looks like he's just kind of there and like he just doesn't give a fuck.
Definitely.
The mic's just there and he's just like, you know, he's there's very little movement or anything
like
in him.
So
expression. He's just there like he's, you know, all right, can I go shoot up now?
Nice.
But anyway, the before there was Fear Factory, there was Ministry.
Oh, industrial, right?
And
yep.
Ministry pretty much set the standard, and defined the industrial sound for
Mhm.
industrial metal.
Definitely.
Very heavy robotic guitars and samples throughout the song. I always love this is a little bit different cut than what's on I'm used to hearing off the album because it's the video cut, so they kind of chopped up a little bit here and there. Um, Particularly the intro, because I know on the intro on the album it just starts off with a drum beat and it's just doom 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 doom, and then you hear
Let's go again.
doom 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 doom, and then you hear never trust a junkie, and then the guitars just kick in and it blasts your face off from there. Um, it's a bit repetitive and a bit long, but that's kind of the trademark sound and style for most industrial metal. Again, they kind of set the standard for it. Um, Overall, I really like the song and I really like this album. I give it a solid 8.0.
Damn, we're back to
And
where we were.
and one thing that I was always curious about. I don't know about you, but I used to be a liner note junkie, and I used to read the liner notes and all the albums I'd get and I'd read like the thank you list and everything, right?
Right. Yep.
So in this particular one, this has always bothered me, and I've always questioned it because in there, in the thank you list, he thanks somebody named Jay Schrader, which is Schrader is a unique name, right?
Uh-huh.
At that time, which I think Ministry was in, I know they're from Chicago originally, but I think by this point they were living in LA. They were an LA based band. At that time, when this album was recorded, the quarterback for the Los Angeles Raiders was named Jay Schrader.
Oh,
So I've always wondered if that was the same Jay Schrader or if there's another Jay Schrader that
probably where he's getting his heroin from.
no idea. So, but I always found that curious. So there you go.
All right then. All right, moving on to White Zombie, band formed in New York City, 1985. This is Black Sunshine, off of their not really their debut, but really their debut album.
Not really, but really.
Yeah, Los Exorcisto, Devil Music Volume 1, released in 1992. And yes, there were 3 albums before that, but okay, this is their debut. First of all, the car engine noises and the bass line in the beginning is fucking amazing. The opening closing narration is totally fucking rad.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of my favorite car-inspired songs of all time. The video is fucking amazing. The singles Thunderkiss 65 and Black Sunshine received heavy rotation on rock radio and MTV, and that was probably due to Beavis and Butthead, especially with Thunderkiss 65. The former, which is Thunderkiss 65, earning the band the first Grammy nomination for Best Metal Performance, which that's pretty impressive. The album has been certified 2 times platinum by RIAA. And that's about all I have down for White Zombie Black Sunshine because it's a fucking badass song. I give it an 8.5. My wife gives it a 10.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, the intro is amazing. You get the bass line, and I mean it's Iggy Pop. You know what's to not like about having Iggy Pop in your song at any time? That's like never a bad idea. I don't have very many notes on this one. It's classic White Zombie. It's a killer song. The drums are solid. The bass is grooving. The guitar kicks ass. You have Iggy Pop in it. I remember watching this on Headbangers Ball all the time.
Yep.
Love this song. It's one of my favorite songs off of this album, which is one of my favorite albums. Back in the day when I was in high school, I played football in high school, and actually this album and the previous one from Ministry were 2 albums that I used to put on when I played football, like before the game to get ready for the game.
Uh-huh.
I'd have my little Walkman CD players.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and I'd play these all the time. So this was like my getting ready for the game album.
Yeah, the Walkman CD players. If somebody like jumped 3 counties over and start skipping.
Yeah, I know. It was funny, but it was really funny too. And I'm pretty sure it was this album I had when one of the guys on the team, who of course was definitely not into this music. They were in the hip hop stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to know what I was listening. Like, man, what do you listen to? So I gave my headphone, and the look on his face was priceless.
Nice.
So 9.5 on this one. I love it.
I think my mom had that same look when I played her part of the 6 Feet Under song, and the lyric was, "I'll cut you up and fuck the holes I cut in you."
God.
Anyway, moving on to our next song by a band called Mudvayne out of Peoria, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Dreadwind just went all Illinois on this one. The song was called Not Falling. Oh, they were formed in 1996. The song was called Not Falling. And from the album, the way too longly named album, The End of All Things to Come, 2002. I am just not a fan of Chad Gray's vocals at all. The song seems to be structured around a bass drum combination gimmick that I'm not a really big fan of, and only been broken up by his little vocals.
I thought you liked the bass guitar in it at least.
Yeah, it's okay. I do like when he's doing his his clean high vocals, and he has his screaming vocals come in to answer him. That's okay. The video with their color coordinated sweaters made me laugh. Apparently, the video is an homage to the Ghost Ship movie, which I have never seen, but about 97,000 people in the comments section were saying, "Ghost Ship, anyone?" There was that guy in the fuck out of the video.
Okay.
Anyway, the album was recorded at Minnesota's Pachyderm Studios during 2002 with producer David Botrill. And here's the best part. He had previously produced albums for groups such as Tool and Silverchair. So, yeah. Anyway, Mudvayne, Not Falling. I'm not a fan of Mudvayne in general, but I give it a 6.5. My wife gives it a 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big disparity there. Opposites attract.
I know, right on.
Yeah, one of the things I like about this song is that you can hear the bass guitar in it.
Is it Not Falling?
Yeah. Falling. Okay.
What's the name of the song? Come on.
I know. Anyway, I think the bass is really, really good in it, and you can actually hear it, which is unusual for some metal songs.
Yeah, it drives the whole song.
Yeah, it does. It kicks into the opening right away. Again, this is an edited version for the video. The album version is a bit different, a bit longer. I think the guitars and drums are pretty tight in it, and they also muted some of the lyrics because there's a part where he says "come, play, kill," and they completely cut out the kill part, which I thought was weird. And I wrote, I have no idea what's going on in the video because apparently I've never seen that movie, so I did not get the reference either. I was just
like this little chick with blue lipstick.
Yeah, they were like, okay, they're in the snow and they're kind of bluish colored, and okay, whatever. So I didn't get any of that, but the song itself is good. I'm not a huge Mudvayne fan, but this particular album I do like for the most part, and this is one of the better songs off the album that I tend to like better than the rest of them. So I gave this one a solid 8.0.
Okay, so a couple things. Number one, isn't Mudvayne like that poop track in Shrimp?
I guess.
I thought that's what that was. Like the shrimp, like the thing that you take out of shrimp.
I kind of always thought they were naming themselves after like shooting mud in your veins, as in like heroin.
No, I think Mudvayne is an actual like anatomical part of some kind of animal. I forget. I think it's the shrimp.
But I always took it as because they're from Illinois, they don't eat shrimp.
Oh, that's a good point.
I would not get that reference from them.
But at any rate, one more thing I want to say about Mudvayne is they have a song called "World So Cold," right?
Yes, off this album.
Yeah, and a friend of mine, Mike Springer, is like a really super awesome guy. And he really loved that song, and he played all the time when I used to work on the production line with him a long, long time ago. And he died in a motorcycle accident while he was getting cigarettes at break for work. And it's probably one of the saddest days I've ever had. And every time I hear that "World So Cold" song, I always think of him. Yeah. Anyway,
I remember you telling me about that, but I couldn't remember which song it was.
Yeah, it's "World So Cold." All right,
I just know it's off this album. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So our next band, I know, fucking downer today, right? The next band is
man, what's up?
I know. Our next band is Mushroom Head, formed in Cleveland, Ohio, in 1993.
Hey, you're neck of the woods.
Yeah, I'm not really proud of that. So this is their song "Kill Tomorrow" off of their album 13, or as one of my friends would call it, XIII. 2003. My first note is the face makeup looks pretty awesome. until the other guy comes in and his face makeup looks like the Turtle Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember the kid who's like, I like turtles? His kid fuck makeup looked just like that. For a second there, when the drum breakdown happened, I thought I was going to a rave. Because they had like these weird effects in the drum. I'm like, what the fuck? We want to rave? Sweet. Why the fuck are they walking around like they're in slow motion? Is my other note. The guitars are almost entirely low, which sounds weird when it's coupled with his singing. Which his singing, he always sounds to me like he's like that's like the type of singing you would sing heavy metal if you were trying to get a chick to do you. He's got like that seductive voice going. One of the riffs towards the end was entirely stolen, and I can't remember where it's from. And I can't even really pantomime it because I forget how it goes. But definitely they stole that one of those riffs off there from somebody. There is a neat drum effect though at one point in the song. And on this album, there's a song called "Crazy," which appears at the end of track 13. Was a Best Buy exclusive. The standard version of the album contains a song "Along the Way," which was originally released as a soundtrack with a Scorpion King movie in place of it. And the Scorpion King was an awful movie for an awful song for an awful album by an awful band. I give this a 6.5.
Ouch. What's your other rating?
Oh, my wife rated it 10.
Okay.
She likes Mushroom Head for some reason. She likes the Mushroom Head. Boy.
That song "Crazy," by the way, is a cover of
Aerosmith.
Who is it? No, pop guy. Is it Seal?
I don't know.
You should do it.
I'll look it up while you do your review.
One of those pop guys. Anyway, it's a cover of that one. But yeah, back to this one. The guitars are very, very heavy. I'm pretty sure they're using 7 strings. I know.
Oh, definitely.
I know one of the guitar players was a 7-string player at the time. They have 2 singers, and the video is really weird. But like I said, the face makeup they have on the first singer is really cool. But the second singer is just like, let's just slap this on them.
Right, half-assed, right?
Yeah, very, very much so. The chorus is kind of a big sounding chorus in between the hammering guitars and drums.
It is Seal, by the way.
Okay. And it's got some like in parts of it, this is one of those bands that has like 12 people on stage when they're playing, and like, you know, only 4 of them are actually playing normal instruments.
Right.
Then the rest of them are doing all kinds of weird stuff and banging on.
Yeah, one guy's got like a slide flute and fucking
Yeah, you know, he's got like they have like a grinder on a barrel or something, you know, and another dude's got like a sledgehammer that he's banging something with.
Or like one of those washboards that you wear on your vest or your shirt and they fucking do up and down with the stick.
Not quite, but yeah. But
wait, one more. I want to do one more.
Go ahead.
Also like a big fucking jug that says XXX on it and he's blowing on it.
Washed up bass.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So anyway, yeah, that's totally not this band. But anyway, my point is that there's some sort of percussion thing going on in the background that's actually pretty cool. I don't understand why they would need like 12 extra people to do it live, but it's this dude banging on something that's along with the drums. That's pretty cool. And then there's some giggles in it, like a kid giggles throughout. That's kind of really eerie to me every time I hear it.
He's getting like that face makeup, I think.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I like it. It's a decent solid song. I give it 8.0 along with the Mudvayne one.
I think you rated every single one of these higher than I did, except one.
Except Machine Head.
Except Machine Head, right? All right. So moving on to our final band, Pantera, from Arlington, Texas, 1981. This is Mouth for War, off of their Vulgar Display of Power album, which would be technically one of their later albums, but in reality, their sophomore album.
Yeah.
Because again, you know, nobody counts those first cock rock albums, right?
We don't speak of those.
Right. The song gets you going right off the rip with that bending guitar riff that he does. That's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Phil's vocals are amazing. Pantera is actually a pretty good substitute for steroids when you're at the gym.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, Dimebag Soul is fucking brilliant. The song is raw, aggressive power. I didn't know this, but here's a tidbit of knowledge for you. The title of the album is taken from the 1973 film The Exorcist, when Father Damien Karras asks Regan McNeil, or the demon who possesses her, to break her own straps and release herself using her evil power. Regan implies that's too much vulgar display of power.
Cool.
I did not know that until today. But anyway, I rated it a 10. My wife rated it a 10. Dreadnought. What do you think? Dreadnought. Dreadwind. All of a sudden, you're like a fucking like early 19th or early 20th century British battleship. Go ahead.
The Dreadnought.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really have notes for this one. I'm laughing at what I wrote. All right, here's what I wrote. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Pantera, Mouthful.
I thought you were gonna write "Turned On by Phil's Nipples."
No, this is what I wrote. Pantera's Mouthful War. It kicks down your door, raids your fridge, drinks your beer, takes a dump in your bathroom, and walks out with your girl on his arm.
Sounds about right.
That's all I wrote because I like the song.
Really good song.
It kicks ass. I gave it a 10 also.
All right, fucking finally symbiotic on the last one.
Yeah.
All right. So that does it for our song reviews, our 10 song reviews.
You know, I also wrote down we need to do Drag the Waters one of these days.
Definitely.
Totally jammed to that one after this one.
Yeah, that's an underrated album too. So yeah, all right. So that's our song reviews. And if you want to look at the playlist of what we reviewed, it's right in the YouTube, which it's not up yet, but this video, it'll be in the little description section. What we're going to do now is we're going to talk about Megadeth albums, our favorite songs off the first 5 Megadeth albums.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. We did Metallica last week. We're going to do Megadeth this week.
I did not write anything down, but that's okay. I can do it.
I was going to say, you could probably wing it on this, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. First album, Killing Is My Business, and Business Is Good. I'm going with title track, right? Because that's fucking awesome, because the whole song is about him being the paid assassin. 10,000 up front and 10,000 when it's done. It's fucking amazing song. I love it. And I almost can guess what you're going to pick, but I picked the title track off Killing With My Business. Business Is Good. Dreadwind.
I'm going to go with Looking Down the Cross. That's
always fuck. I was wrong, I guess.
Always been one of my favorite songs off that album. I love the rhythm in it. I love the little bass line. I love the change-ups. It's to me, it's one of the better constructed songs from, the way it's written as a songwriting off the album. It's a highly, highly underrated song off that album. All right. Okay, so the next album is Peace Sells Who's Buying. And again, I'm going to go What'd you think
I thought you were going to go with Mechanics.
Oh, no.
All right, so again, Peace Sells Who's Buying. I'm going to go again with the title track, because that fucking bass line, as soon as that goes off, everybody in the goddamn heavy metal world knows what's going to happen.
Yep.
So I'm going with the title track, Dreadwind.
Awesome choice, by the way. But mine is The Conjuring.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
The Conjuring has one of the most awesome heavy metal riffs of all time in it. That when he hits that change up, it's just nothing but yes.
So it's bleeding metal.
It bleeds metal. It's awesome. It's an awesome song.
Yes. All right, so the next album is called So Far So Good So What, and it was the last of the Megadeth albums with an ellipsis in it, because all first 3 Megadeth albums have ellipses in it. Ellipsis. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go a little off kilter here, and I'm going to pick the cover song they did on this, and I'm going to pick Anarchy in the UK, because I think they did an amazing job covering that song.
Yeah, I like that one. And, I know they get, apparently the Sex Pistols didn't care for it, but then they don't care for anything. So
right.
They're one of those people you just can't please.
I'm married to them. Go ahead.
I think Did she listen to this?
No. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Probably.
Get yourself in trouble. I think I'm going to go with the opening song, Set the World on Fire.
Okay.
Just awesome. Yeah.
All right. So our next album just happens to be. Go ahead.
I was just say it kicks in and blasts you away, and it's relentless. It's awesome.
All right, our next album just happens to be the very best Megadeth album of all time. Rest in peace. And there's a lot of good choices on this one.
Oh man.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna go with Holy War's Punishment Due, and the only reason why I'm picking that one above the other is because the Punisher reference in the Punishment Due part of it. Because I mean, come on, Tornado of Souls. I mean, the whole album's brilliant, but I got to go with Holy War's Punishment Due.
Yeah, like last week with Master of Puppets. This
right.
is the same
You really can't make a wrong choice.
Yeah, there is no wrong choice on this album. They're all awesome. Gosh, I got to go with Holy Wars also. Awesome. Because I mean, the guitar riffs are just amazing from start to finish, and it doesn't let up. And the change ups, the little Middle Eastern part in there with the guitars, you know.
Exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, all of that is great. It's just a great song.
All right, finally, Megadeth's answer to the Black Album, Countdown to Extinction. This is the song this is an album that's got mostly good songs on it. I got to go with Sweating Bullets because it's just an awesome song about, being insane, which I think is pretty good. But you really, again, there's probably 5 or 6 good songs in this album. Go ahead, Jared. What's your favorite?
Yeah, another good album. That's definitely one of my favorites. That one and Psychotron.
Oh yeah,
a good one. I think I'm gonna go with the popular choice
Symphony.
Here. I got to go with Symphony on this one. Yeah, it's just got that mean, dun dun.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Take a mortal man.
Yeah. It's just mean and nasty. I like it.
Right on. All right, so there you go. That was our top 5 songs from the first 5, or I guess our top 1 song from the first 5 Megadeth albums. That pretty much does it for the show. I just want to thank the 2 viewers who fucking stuck through almost all the way through this time.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm guessing it's probably Blake and Beth, maybe. I don't know.
Probably.
Thanks, guys, for listening. And I think with Blake, we get a package deal.
So yeah.
So there you have it. Anyway, now brings us to our Dreadwind's favorite time of the podcast, where I want to talk about where I'm going to be. This weekend, on tomorrow and on Sunday, I will be at Origins Game Fair as Cobra Trooper in Columbus, Ohio, at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. So if you want to go there and talk about Cobra shit, you can get a Cobra card. The whole rest of my entire group is down in Florida at JoeCon. So but I didn't want to drive all the way down there.
Wow.
Because that's a long fucking haul.
Sure is.
So, but I mean, there's probably 40 of them down there.
Jeez.
So, yeah, I know. It's the big one. That and Dragon Con are the big ones for us.
Okay.
So there you go. But anyway, that's where I'll be at Origins.
Sweet.
I just want to stay metal. Dreadwind.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching. I actually got tickets to go see Ron White tomorrow night. So
the comedian guy.
Yep, comedian guy.
All right. Yeah. So there you go. All
right.
You all have a good day and fucking stay metal. Horns up.
Stay metal.
We're out.